I'll talk about some. So when you get judged, right, in the day of judgment, it's I've heard a lot of people's theories on this. I don't really agree with too many people. I think that how it works is God's going to put His consciousness in your mind, right? So it's not necessarily God standing before each and every person, over a vast, infinite valley of dead souls. I think it's going to be each individual will simply have a piece of the Spirit of God in them, and it will take over their own consciousness so that they'll correctly judge themselves, right? Like you'll see the gates of heaven, right? You'll see what's on the other side of those gates, and I think everybody alive right now, anyway, isn't going to let themselves in, because you have to be trustworthy forever, for all eternity, in every situation, right? If anything is going to make you mad, make you violent, make you lustful, if anything could do that between now and forever, then you're not going to get into heaven, because that's pretty much the prerequisite, right? Like, you'll have free will, but only if your free will is to obey God and follow His rules forever, like how the angels were created, right? With all the laws and everything in their head already, and you'll have to obey that. And a lot of people, I think pretty much every single person in these generations that are alive, maybe 300 years ago and prior to that, lives that have lived during those times, yeah, okay, they're gonna make it in. I know a lot of them will. A lot of people that died young didn't live long enough to become a villain. A lot less temptations 250 years ago than what we got now. We're in the last days of the final season of Satan. So, I'm just saying, if you look at yourself in the mirror right now, are you going to let yourself into heaven? If you think yeah, then you're not being fully truthful and you don't have the mind of God. So I'm just saying, something to think about. When you play it back, right? Like when God plays back your life for you, I don't think it's going to be through your own eyes. I think you're going to be 6 feet back, watching from a distance. So it's not like you could justify your actions because you're not in the same body you're watching it, as if you're watching some stranger, right? Because you're going to be out of your flesh for a while. You're probably not even going to remember what you used to look like. I'm just saying. Plus, being 6 feet back out of your body and looking at yourself as a stranger, witnessing all the bad things you've done in your life, you justify it as you're doing it, right? It's well, I needed to eat, well, I needed rent money, well, I needed, whatever, and that's fine. But once you have the consciousness of God judging your own life, right? You're not gonna. That's what I mean. I had a vision of this, and it was really creepy. You know how I see things in the sky? Well, looking back at my life in this vision, after I was dead, I could see everything in the sky, not as clouds, but as actual monsters. Like the sky was filled with monsters, and everybody was just completely like they couldn't see it, right? Just like real life, like we don't see it, right? But they weren't vapor in this vision I had. They're very much solid and oppressing and really disturbing, you know. Like they're laughing at you, like they're taunting you as you're sinning in the flesh here the whole time. And it's like, you know, there's no ad breaks when you rewatch your life either. It's really long, really long, and it's gonna take cuts out of it that branch off from your own personal life into the lives of others that you've affected, to show direct affection, like direct effects of your actions, you know, for at least a little bit, a few days down the road, as long as it took for your action to make a reaction in the other person's life. You're gonna see all that. It's really gonna be horrible, like more horrible than you could imagine, really.